You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. Good evening. I'm Chris Palermo. The Henderson Police Department is releasing new details tonight about an officer-involved shooting that took place last month. Let's take a look.
The Henderson Police Department is now sharing new information about an officer-involved shooting that occurred last month. In the video released by the department on Wednesday, Captain Benson Harper discusses the incident, which took place at 7 a.m. on Thursday, June 26th.
The following is a brief overview of an incident that occurred on June 26, 2025, at approximately 7 a.m. in the 3800 block of Casa Colorado Avenue in Las Vegas. The City of Henderson Police Department responded to a burglary at the 1200 block of Imperia Drive in Henderson at approximately 5:40 p.m. on June 25, 2025. During the investigation, detectives learned a silver Volkswagen had been stolen during the burglary. Detectives believe this incident was related to a series of golf course burglaries. Detectives tracked and recovered the stolen vehicle to the 3800 block of Casa Colorado Avenue in Las Vegas. Detectives authored a search warrant for the residence related to the suspect, and with the assistance of the Henderson Police Department SWAT team who served the search warrant. No other law enforcement agencies were involved in this incident. At approximately 7 a.m., SWAT team officers made announcements through a long-range acoustic speaker, deployed distraction devices, and made entry into the residence. Once inside the residence, SWAT officers continued to announce Henderson Police search warrant. SWAT officer Michael Stevens contacted 71-year-old Bruce Ayer in the kitchen of the residence. Mr. Ayer pointed what Officer Stevens identified as a handgun at SWAT team members. Officer Stevens identified himself by stating police department search warrant and created distance by moving back to a position of cover. Mr. Ayer refused to drop the weapon and continued to advance towards officers pointing the handgun. Officer Stevens discharged his firearm, striking Mr. Ayer 2 times in the torso. Once the scene was rendered safe, tactical medics attached to the SWAT team immediately provided aid to Mr. Ayer. Paramedics transported him to an area hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. No officers were injured during this incident.
This marks the department's second officer-involved shooting of 2025. Anyone with information about this case is urged to contact the Henderson Police Department at 702-267-4911, or you can call 311, or even to remain anonymous, you can contact Crime Stoppers at 702-385-5555.
More news now. President Donald Trump has announced a new trade deal involving Japan, Indonesia, and the Philippines. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt spoke about this announcement earlier this week.
President Donald Trump has announced a new trade deal with Japan, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Here is what White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said during a recent briefing.
Yesterday, President Trump accomplished something no other president has ever achieved. The president secured and announced 3 major trade deals with the Philippines, Indonesia, and Japan, all in one day. President Trump is finally putting a stop to our country getting ripped off. As a result of the president's successful negotiating tactics, many foreign markets are now being opened to American industries for the very first time, and harmful trade barriers are being broken down. Thanks to President Trump, these countries around the world are agreeing to open their markets to American-made products and goods for the first time, which will lead to a boom in sales and profits for American businesses right here at home. As President Trump said, he will only lower tariff rates if a country agrees to open their market to American-made products. If not, they will continue to face tariffs and pay a steep price to do business in the United States of America, which remains the best market on the face of the planet.
President Donald Trump and Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba said on Tuesday that they have agreed to a trade deal that will include a 15% tariff on U.S. imports from Japan. The 15% tax on imported Japanese goods is a reduction from the 25% rate that Trump said he would impose in a recent letter to Ishiba that would have started on August 1st. The U.S. will also reduce its tariff rates on goods from the Philippines to 19% without paying import taxes for what it sells there. The previous rate on products from the Philippines was originally 20%. The White House also announced a trade deal on Tuesday with Indonesia, which includes a 19% tariff on all imported goods from the island's nation. Trump officials said that Indonesia will not charge tariffs on U.S. imported goods. News 25 will continue to give updates regarding trade and tariff changes as they become available.
And Congressman Susie Lee, who is a friend of the Southern Nevada Now radio show hosted by Mikey Ruhan and I on Ace Country 103.1, is speaking out after reports that the administration plans to release some of the frozen grants that fund after-school and summer programs.
On July 18th, Congresswoman Susie Lee joined After School All-Star Las Vegas Executive Director Joni Manzella to sound the alarm on the administration pausing over $60 million in federal funding for Nevada schools. Attendees shared how the withheld grants will have a personal impact on students and families who rely upon ASALV and similar programs to keep children safe after school.
Well, listen, thank you for being here today at the After School All-Stars. Great to be with you, Jody.
Thank you.
Right now it's summer break for many of the kids in our school district, but it's important today that we call this press conference because the Trump administration has frozen $61 million in education funding for Nevada. And we're standing here at the After School All-Stars because it has real impacts on what we're able to offer our students here in Southern Nevada. The grants in question fund after-school programs for nearly 12,000 students and professional development for our already overstressed educators. Let me be clear, this is a move that will take money away from programs to help our students so that literally the Trump administration can turn around, put that money in a bucket and hand it as tax breaks to the wealthiest Americans. As you know, this is near and dear to my heart. Before coming to Congress, I was the founding director of the After School All-Stars, I hate to say, but 30 years ago, quite a long, I'm aging myself, but since that time we have served, 150,000, well now they're serving 150,000 students in 40 schools across the state, not just in Southern Nevada. This is really important programming that keeps kids engaged and in school and makes sure that, that we provide them the support that they need. And if this administration continues to put millions of dollars, like the money that After School All-Stars relies on hold, they will have no choice but to cut programming. And right now there's plans to shutter After School All-Stars in 14 schools, I believe, serving about 16,000 Clark County children. This is just one piece of the puzzle, and Nevada is set up for rocky times ahead. In addition to the After School All-Stars, there's approximately $30 million in Clark County School District funding. It applies, 51 employees are at risk of losing their jobs. This is money that would go to teacher mentorship and retention programs, English language learning programs, student support programs, helping students deal with chronic absenteeism, and of course student support programs like this after-school program.
Coming up, a soda maker is about to pay a hefty fine. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo, and the makers of the viral soda brand Poppi have agreed to an $8.9 million settlement to resolve a class action lawsuit that accused the company of misleading consumers by marketing its prebiotic drinks as gut healthy. And News 25 has the details.
The viral reported healthy soda Poppi has agreed to pay $8.9 million to settle a class action lawsuit accusing the company of falsely marketing its sparkling probiotic beverages as gut healthy. The settlement applies to consumers who have purchased any flavor or package size of Poppi drinks between January 23, 2020 and July 18, 2025. Plaintiffs allege that Poppi's health claims were not backed up by scientific evidence. Poppi denied any wrongdoing but agreed to resolve the allegations through the settlement. Eligible class action members can receive cash payments based on the quantity and packaging of Poppi products that have or were purchased. Those with proof of purchase may receive up to 75 cents per single can, $3 for a 4-pack, $6 for an 8-pack, and $9 for a 12-pack or 15-pack. Class action members without any proof of the purchase can receive up to $16 per household. Actual payments depend on the number of valid claims that have been submitted. The deadline to submit claims or exclude yourself or object to the settlement is September 26, 2025. A final approval for its hearing is scheduled for November 20th. Consumers who believe that they are eligible should review the settlement's official website for claim instructions and requirements.
And a lot going on in sports this midweek in middle of summer. Mikey Ruhan is telling us all about the latest updates on the Aviators.
It is time for your News 25 look at sports, and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. The Las Vegas Aviators got shut out in Sacramento 8-0 against the River Cats on Tuesday. They had a rematch at noon today. We'll have that score for you soon. Aja Wilson had 24 points and 12 rebounds. Dana Evans provided a spark off the bench, and Las Vegas Aces won 3 straight games for the first time this season in an 87-72 victory over the Atlanta Dream on Tuesday night. The Las Vegas Raiders have signed veteran safety Jamal Adams per Fox Sports' Jordan Schultz, reuniting him with head coach Pete Carroll. Adams, who turns 30 in October, has played 8 seasons in the NFL, including 4 with the Seattle Seahawks under Carroll. And the Vegas Nighthawks defeated the Northern Arizona Wranglers 58-29 at Lee's Family Forum on Saturday night. The team clinched a playoff berth with the win. Saturday, July 26th, the Nighthawks will play their final game of the 2025 regular season against the Tucson Sugar Skulls. That's their real name. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thank you, Mikey. Do you want the Perump Town Board to be reinstated? News 25 spoke with Tina Bon Kuglin, who is asking for people to join the committee to voice their opinions about the board.
Hello, I am Tina. I'm here with the committee to reestablish the Perump Town Board. We are looking for people interested in serving on the committee. I wanted to let you know that if you are interested in allowing the Perump voters to voice their opinion on whether to reestablish the Perump Town Board, then we could use the assistance on the committee. If you are interested, please contact Beth at 702-271-5263 or email beth@ireli.com. If you have any questions about the town board that you would like addressed on an upcoming news segment, message KPVM on Facebook Messenger. Thank you.
Some very important information coming up, how you can give blood and help out. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
And welcome back to News 25 on this Wednesday. I'm Chris Palermo. Nathan Adelson Hospice alongside Perump Valley Fire and Rescue is calling on the community to roll up their sleeves for a blood drive happening Friday, July 25th.
Nathan Adelson Hospice, in partnership with the Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, is inviting residents to take part in a community blood drive on Friday, July 25th. The event will run from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Station 1, located at 300 North Highway 160 here in Pahrump. Both walk-ins and appointments will be accepted. Participants who donate will enter a raffle for a handmade blanket and a bottle of wine with 2 glasses. Organizers typically see 25 to 28 donors at these events, though they are aiming for 32 people at this time. All blood that is collected will be given to the American Red Cross Blood Services. Summer is considered a crucial period for blood donations, as supplies often run low during the season. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue continues to host blood drives throughout the year to support emergency medical procedures and community needs. Additional drives are planned for later in this year, and dates will be later announced. For more information or to schedule an appointment, you can contact Vivian at 775-209-4230, or you can visit redcrossblood.org.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
That's the Lerner and Rowe Weather Cam looking outside of the News 25 studios here in Perump. And, well, there has been talk of going back to school, not just yet, but tomorrow morning with temps in the 60s. May feel like back to school weather. Complete forecast up in a bit.
Good evening, Nevada. My name is Rory Rossell, coming to you from the Channel 25 Weather Studios. And taking a look at Nevada right now, up in northern Nevada, Fernley is looking at 91 degrees, 93 in Fallon, Carson City is at 87, Tonopah is at 85, Goldfield is at 84, Beatty is at 93 degrees today, Amargosa and Las Vegas are both at 98, and Death Valley is at 109 today. But here in the beautiful paradise of Pahrump, currently 94 degrees. The high today was 96. Wind blowing south-southwest at 14 miles per hour. With sunny skies today, the humidity was at 10%, and the sun rose this morning at 5:44 and will be setting tonight at 7:56 p.m. The humidity raises up to 15%, and the wind continues to blow southeast at 12 miles per hour. The low tonight is going to be 67 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. We will have some pretty nice temperatures throughout the next 7 days. Tomorrow and Friday will be 97 degrees, 95 on Saturday, 99 on Sunday, and then back into the triple digits next week at 103 on Monday, 105 next Tuesday, but then back down to 100 next Wednesday. Make sure to stay hydrated and wear your sunscreen. Back to the desk, here's Chris.
Thank you, Ms. Rosal. We were talking a little earlier, just before she went on to give us that forecast, and we are both enjoying the cooler temperatures, but it looks like we're getting back into the triple digits. Enjoy it while you can. That'll just about do it for all of us here tonight. I'm Chris Palermo. Make it a great night.